Westside BBC. Westside BBC. I take a look at myself, I likes what I'm seeing. I'm far from conceited, just a fly human being. I dress, talk, and smell as if I want the world. Learn to steal and that's real once it attracts the girls. My sunshine, spend time, margarita twisted with lime. Half baked in these DC streets, and if you can't stand the heat, ain't got to tell you about the kitchen. Sin City living, how you twigging and itching. Stealing for a living, cause the city, the frequency is a hell of a stench. The city raised the Grinch, taught him how to steal land both sides of the fence. Gave him a gun and told the rabbit to have fun, not just counties, boundaries, mountains, time zones, 41 states cripped in, 15 cripped in, and look at me mama, I'm still dipping, rest till I die, nigga try me, fuck a IV, they got 48 hours to find me, burn the whole crime scene, and all they know is he smoke good greens, and live by all means, with the heart of the whole team, you think it's easy to flip from sugar to shit, smoke up the scene and burn rubber and weed with it, designed for the 3 and the G in it, east side, you see the West LV represent, explicit, and if y'all think I came to talk pimp shit, bitch, you got me twisted. It's 3-A-N-G-S-T-A period, and I just look like this. I tell them I just look like this. And Lord knows I ain't never been a punk about shit. I live the G-code where most of y'all niggas just talked it. Kicked in doors and pimped hoes, where the G's at, cause this ain't the Lansing Street. Please believe that. Cause fucking with me, you get P shit, G shit, West Side 3 shit on 1P, bitch. My rock and roll lock and load, and ain't no bluffing. When them niggas talking loud and ain't saying nothing. But I kick the type of shit that can break a bitch. Like a thief, anything I want I'm taking it. Out of control, rock and skate with it. Left side, and Lord know I ain't no faking it. I took my game from the streets and jump states with it. Game remain the same, although the name changed cause they face strange. And if I got the gang bang, I burn rubber and weed and lead this bitch right now, man. From blue rags to tracks with hoes that attract tricks and jack dick. That's how it crack, bitch. Think it's a game, it's a fact, bitch. Fucking with Tone P, I'll get your bitch ass black.
Wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack, yeah. Niggas selling suicide one bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed through. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. John Dillinger shit. Niggas in the hood wanna see my cars on flatbeds. Hey, this a recession, selling that crack, yeah. Niggas selling suicide one bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga.
Good evening. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Chan Kruma, Jesse Paris, next mayor of Denver 2023, writing a B1 agenda Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, April 4th, on the 55th anniversary of the death and assassination of the Honorable and Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., and we are joined with our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Sankoria, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, of which I am the co-host of and the co-executive producer. Hey, Shabaka. And also, Lady Che will not be joining us this evening. She's really tired. She's in a lot of pain, so we're going to keep her in our prayers. It's her birthday week. So I expected her to be on here, but it's all good. This is why we're doing the episode on Friday opposed to Saturday. But there's so much stuff to talk about Black family. We might end up doing a part 2 tomorrow. So on this episode of Shabaka, Frontline Black News, this is our 2-year episode. So we've been around for 2 years as of today, and or tomorrow really, because we do it every Saturday. So yeah, as of tomorrow, it'll be 2 years that the Frontline Black News has been around. So we're moving into the 3rd season. After tomorrow, it'll be our 3rd season. And on tonight's episode, we will be discussing several things. The first thing that we will be discussing is regular here on Frontline Black News, and that is the tangibles. Tangible change. We see Mr. Roberts stealing our technology and trying to pass it off as your own. The Frontline Black News has been around for at least 2 years, and prior to that, we have Mile High News, and we were still pushing the tangibles. So this is tangibles 2020 all the way up to 2100. Since we're in 2023 now, we're going to be discussing tangibles 2023 to tangibles 2024, because that's when the next presidential election is. Also, we will be discussing Trump getting indicted. Will he serve any time in jail or prison? We're going to give you an update on the Denver mayor's race. The election is coming this coming Tuesday, April 4th, 2023 at 7 p.m. So make sure you have your ballots in no later than 7 p.m. on Tuesday, on the 55th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. And then we're going to have an update on the California Reparations Task-force.
Right.
They had a meeting for the past 2 years now, and they had a meeting recently in Sacramento, California. It was a 2-day meeting, and we did a nice piece on that earlier this morning on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced with Grand Rising with Shabaka, which is happening every Friday morning. So make sure y'all check that out. And then we're going to give you an update on the East High Town Hall meeting on gun and youth violence that took place this past Tuesday at New Hope Baptist Church. That is actually the current mayor's church. He's like a deacon or a pastor of the church, and he has a specific seat that's designated for him. So we're going to touch on that. And then the U.S. Census is looking at adding a question to the section on race for Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, otherwise known as FBA, Foundational Black Americans, and our Unhoused Neighbor News and our Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So before we get to the tangible, Shabaka, introduce yourself, tell the people who you are. And
yes, sir, absolutely. I'm Shabaka Sankoria, the executive producer, co-executive producer of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, the podcast. We are in season 7 right now. It originated with myself and the one and only man, Dr. D. May rest in power. We evolved off into Frontline Black News. Okay, we come on every Tuesdays on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Also, too, you can check us here on Frontline Black News every Saturday night when we do the StreamYard. And for the last 3 weeks now, we did our third episode on Friday, which is Grand Rising with Shabaka Sankori. And the times that those come on there at 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. in the Central Time. Wait a minute. 8 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 10 a.m. Central Time, and 11 a.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. And the reason for this for the Friday show is because we, staying on top of current events that's ever changing. We definitely do still come on our regular date of Tuesday night, 6 p.m. in the Pacific, 9 p.m. in the East, 8 p.m. in the Central, and 7 p.m. in the Mountain Time Zone. Now, I just want to do a short comment on the dump, before we go off into our show there, Brother Check. The dump has been busted. Yes, sir.
So I don't know if you were listening, but so after tangibles, we're going to talk about Trump. So if we can get through the tangibles,
okay, my bad.
We can get to Trump and then the mayoral race. But
yes,
did you have anything else to add besides Trump?
Oh yeah, the California reparations. Because our last podcast on Grand Rising with Shabaka is that we dealt with that, yourself and myself. Also, to feedback that we're getting, up out of California that we stated on the podcast this morning. You got that classic cliche, none of you folks were slaves, and this is such an embarrassment. You just want a handout, go to Walmart. First place, fuck Walmart and fuck the person who said that bullshit, and fuck everybody with that philosophy because it's bullshit. But the simple fact is, the United States will not be the powerhouse that it is world economically had it not been for the transatlantic slave trade of our people sweating their blood, beaten half to death, beat down mentally, spiritually, economically, politically, physically, and mentally, and also to the shattering of our family or ties with that as well too.
Everly, meaning every which way, in any way possible.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, 360, all the way around. 360, all the way from top to bottom. You see what I'm saying? And also, they can miss us with that bullshit. And fuck Larry Alders and fuck Leo Terrell. And both good sons of bitches are welcome to call in at 516-418-5996. And I'll be more than happy to have both of you good, sorry-ass, miseducated fools on there. Oh, boy, that just gets me so upset, Brother Parrish, because I grew up in that damn state. And then not to mention all the police killings that goes on there as well, too, from San Diego to Los Angeles to Oakland to San Francisco to Sacramento. Every last one of them damn agencies that I mentioned, which is all of the major cities of California, has always had some type of problem with the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
And the list goes on and on and on,
Yep.
From Mario Woods to Ezel Ford to Mr. Pagan that was beat down there in San Diego by the San Diego Police Department. The questionable police killings that they have. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we are, and then as you say, FBA.
Was that while Kamala Harris was the Secretary General?
No, sir. Kamala. She was an assistant district attorney in Alameda County before she became the district attorney of San Francisco County, and she was definitely the DA when Mario Woods got killed. Now, after she was the DA of San Francisco County, then she went on and got elected to the Attorney General's office of California, and I think she did it for 2 terms. And then when Barbara Boxer retired from the U.S. Senate, then she was appointed as the U.S. Senator from California to finish out the term.
They filled her with the vacancy.
Yes, sir. And then Biden, he selected her to be the vice presidential candidate. And then, of course, as we all do know, of how she got mauled in the presidential debates by the congresswoman from Hawaii, who
Yeah,
had brought it to the attention of the public, stating that,
Tulsi Gabbard, who recently left the Democrats, said to hell with the Democrats.
Okay. And then she had told Kamala about herself is because when California had decided to have, recreational marijuana to be sold in the state, and they fully decriminalized it, for amounts of under an ounce, there was a lot of people in jail who were still sitting there when Kamala was the attorney general, when the law was passed, that, all those cases were supposed to be thrown out and those were supposed to be expunged and the people were supposed to be released about the slammer. And at last count, quite a few of them are still in there. And she was no longer the attorney general or the U.S. senator and didn't say nothing about it. And then when she was in a vice presidential debate with the Trump crony Mike Pence, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, who looks like a Hitler SS officer if you look at him real closely. He looks just like one of Hitler's SS officers during World War II of the Gestapo.
We got a mug that looks just like that or similar to that running for mayor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he even brought it up to her attention in the vice presidential debate, when the dump was selected or, when they selected the orange dude. And then, and so she tried to recant her from it. You could tell that she was working on an answer for that is because she was presented with it when she was in the presidential debate. But she was thoroughly mauled. A friend of mine told me to look at it, you know what I'm saying? And I did, and I looked at the replay, and she had egg all over her face. And then the funny part is that this woman used to talk about that she used to smoke weed in the 1980s, listening to Snoop Dogg.
And Tupac.
Snoop Dogg was not around in the 80s. And Tupac, they were not around in the 80s.
That's because they have this preconceived notion that they can get to us just by mentioning a hip hop artist or cornbread or chicken and watermelon or just hot sauce, just really stupid stereotypical stuff. But they think they mention it, then they're able to galvanize us. They're able to get to us and we'll vote for them because they understand. No, Black family, Kamala Harris does not understand. Kamala Harris, your vice president, is from the not the Dravidian class of India. She is from the Brahmin class of India. If you know anything about India and the history of India, you know that the Brahmin class is like the upper echelon of the caste system in India. And the Dravidians are otherwise known as the untouchables. They the worst out of all the people in the country. So so our treatment here in the United States, I don't want to say it's parallel or equal because there is no equal to us, to our plight in Arma Alpha. But the closest in India would be how the Dravidians are being treated and have been treated for a long time, several centuries.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
then
Kamala Harris don't belong to none of that. And then her daddy, he's Black, but he's Black from Jamaica, and Jamaica has a class has a lot of classism. This is why the Honorable Sorry Garvey was unable to get anything started in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, because he was up against too many coons, too many boule, and too much class. So he had to come here to the United States, and he was able to galvanize, mobilize, and organize 8 million foundational Black Americans.
Yes, sir. And not only here in the U.S., but also in the Caribbean as well, too. 8 million members that he had of the United Negro Improvement Association.
just in the U.S. alone, Shabaka, he was able to amass a following, if you will, of 8 million people, 8 million Black people, and then Black Americans.
Wow.
Or all in total, it could have been 10 million Black people. And he said,
Hmm.
Africa is for the Africans at home and abroad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, too, as you know, Malcolm X, his father was a Garveyite as
Yes,
well, too.
yes, Malcolm
The
X,
Reverend Earl Little.
Harveyite.
Yes, the Reverend Earl Little. He was a Garveyite as well, too. And as we all know, that Minister Malcolm was born in Omaha, Nebraska, on
Yes,
May 17th, 1925.
yeah, 1925. And also, Shabaka, I'd like to add, my great grandparents on my mom's dad's side were Garveyites as well.
Oh, well, good, 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 real good, real good, real good. And then also too on my father's side of the family, which I'm going to tell the state of California when I go up there to get my reparations, is that my family was born slaves on the plantations of Montgomery, Alabama, all the way back in 18. Okay, wait a minute, in the 1840s. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Both my great grandparents were born, no, great grandparents were born in or around Montgomery, Alabama, and they had the slave names of Montgomery as well too. So yeah, for Montgomery, Alabama, you need to bust my family a check
Right.
straight out.
Alabama needs to bust your family a check.
Yes, sir. And then also too, brother Paris, to emphasize what you had stated on a previous podcast that we did a few months back, sue your colonizers.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sue your
Right.
colonizers.
Colonizer, don't get in the
Because
way. Don't get in the way of our movement. Don't get in the way of our progress. You got your own entities.
exactly.
You got CARICOM. Each just
Yes, sir.
about each diaspora nation has their own
Hmm.
entity that they're using to get reparations from their colonizer. So sue your colonizer.
Right. Absolutely. And then on top of it as well too, for our people there in France and there in Paris, be sure to go up there. What's that idiot's name over there? Macron, Macro,
Oh,
or
my
Macron? Yeah.
crazy shit like
Who?
that. Macron,
Yeah.
some shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The president of France needs to be jacked up. The president of the Netherlands needs to be jacked up because those were the Dutch. Old raggedy ass King Charles over there, you know what I'm saying? They need to go up there and take all that shit from his family because all those Jews came from Africa. That's
Yeah.
why I appreciated in the motion picture Black Panther when Michael B. Long was inside the museum in London, England, and he told the people, he says, "No, this mask and this weapon don't come from there; it comes from Wakanda. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it back, just like how y'all took it from us. Because
Yeah.
love Killmonger and Black Panther. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I was
And this is the type of crap
we have much of
that
a appearance in Black Panther 2 forever.
okay, all righty. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, just saying good night to loved ones. Okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So
Yeah.
I finally seen Black Panther 2 all the way through, and
How was it? Did they destroy Wakanda, man?
I thought you had seen it already, Shabaka.
No, I saw clips of it. The last clips that I saw of it is where Siri, yeah, and from what I understand, Siri is the Black Panther now, and then after the Queen Mother was killed, she's the monarch of the empire.
But
And she did not let that
to
fool get to the water.
it, I don't
Yeah,
want to.
what was it?
There's a twist to it at the very end, but I don't want to ruin it for you because like they run the credits and then they just with Marvel, they'll run the credits and they'll put
Yeah.
in at the end of the credits.
Oh, they put who at the end of the credit?
They'll put another like storyline or something pertaining to what you
Oh
just read
yeah, I saw the ending.
at the very
Yeah, I saw the ending. At the very ending, yeah, when the Queen was in Haiti, and like you said, I'm not going to spoil it, but that there is a very touching at the end, and I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying, for those who haven't seen it. But the only thing I will say, I have not seen it all the way through. I only caught the last half of it, but I love the part where the Queen, when she took over the Black Panther from King T'Challa, is where she let that fool stand on that beach when he says, "Oh, I got to get to the water. I got to get to the water." She says, "No, you ain't. You gonna bake in this sun trick."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad of that. You see, and then Umar Johnson had did some lectures on it about at the ending of it, as where he would
you know, I met Umar back in 2016. He came out to Denver.
Oh yeah, we had him on the show.
Yeah, but I met him in person too, and it was around that same time, because Shabaka's Black Experience has been around since 2016. So that same year,
yes sir,
that y'all had him on the show, he came to Denver, or rather Aurora. It was like right on the border of Denver and Aurora. But he was at this church called Rising Church, and I met him there, and I got to take a picture with him. I posted the picture on my Facebook, but I wasn't able to get his book. Unfortunately, I wanted to get his book. His book was Education Genocide,
right. And I would like to reach out to Dr. Umar Johnson, you know, because I want to talk with him about when he was on our second show, when we started Shabaka's Black Experience Enhances, because there was misunderstanding right there. And I would like to talk to the good doctor about it. But moving right along.
Yeah, exactly. Moving right along. We got to get to the show. Okay. So our first topic is tangibles. So it's the year and a decade of tangibles, Black family. So any politician that is seeking your vote demands something tangible for your vote, including myself. I have officially filed to run Denver, Colorado, almost exactly a year to the date. And including myself, anybody seeking your vote, Black family, demands something tangible. The days are over of us just voting just to be voting. The days are over of us just voting because the white-owned media told us to go out and vote. Vote because you have an cause, Black family, and that is the Black agenda. $100 trillion.
Exactly.
Past, present,
intangible
atrocities that have been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people in 2023. So back in 2020, right by the name of Tariq and She came up with the hashtag Tangibles 2020. And we here at Frontline Black News and Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced have been pushing this hashtag for the past at least 3 years. So
yes, sir.
Is the screen sharing, Shabaka? No, I gotta allow it.
Yeah, the screen is showing. Yeah, the Cash App, $ Shabaka Sankori. Yes, sir.
No, that's not what I wanted to show.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got Frontline Black News on YouTube. Official C21.WIA.wixsite.com. Jesse Perez for Mayor. Oh, okay, there you are, right there. Tangibles 2020. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so back in 2020, brother by the name Tariq Nasheed came up with the hashtag Tangibles 2020. And in it, the presidential elections at that time, there was 2020 presidential elections were coming up. So we're going to change 2020 to 2024. That's it. Everything else remains. The 2024 elections are coming up. I said 2024, right?
And
2024 presidential elections are coming up, and foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the system. This malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms, lumping foundational Black groups with minorities, immigrants, people of color, etc., has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this election, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits specifically for us. We do not want trickle down, secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped into groups with that is often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans, or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this message
Period.
far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. And since it's 2023, it's Tangibles2023. And next year, it'll be Tangibles 2024, all the way up to 2100.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, too, Mr. Mayor, if I might ask, also, too, please put in and check out the hashtag resurrection of the mental dead. Okay, and the purpose of that is to get our minds right, and is to come up out of this gaslighting, smoke screen, prepackaged garbage that they have on social media. And the reason why I'm mentioning this here, Brother Parrish, is because, as you know, they are shadow banning us. You see what I'm saying? So this is our way of taking it to the people. Yeah, they're shadow banning us bad. But it's okay, because that simply means that we are getting somewhere. It simply means that we are telling them about their stinking asses. It simply means that they don't like this truth. But guess what? There's not a damn thing they can do about it.
Exactly. There ain't nothing they can do about it. They're going to get it regardless. Resurrection of...
Exactly.
So, hold on, Sebastian. I'm going to have a scroll real quick.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, too, while you're handling that there, Mr. Mayor, I want to crumb bomb on Leo Terrell. I want to crumb bomb on Larry Elders.
Oh, man.
And I want to crumb bomb on another coon by the name of Jesse Lee Peterson. I forgot about him, and I looked at him, man, and I just wanted to vomit.
Yeah, man. He's a pussy.
I mean, and what made me so sick was the tears that I was having inside my soul of just how beat down that they had us. But it's okay. To quote the words of a famous man, it's bad enough to get knocked down, but it's worse to stay down. So when these idiots like Terrell and Elder and Jesse Lee Peterson, and a couple of other ass scratchers out there, you see what I'm saying? They're defeated, and our youth have a right not to go through that. We really do. And then also, too, if it's in our schedule, we definitely want to crumb bomb on Kamala a little bit, because you know she's in Ghana, and you know the agenda that she pushed.
I was hoping Letty Che was going to do an RBA this week, but she didn't end up doing it. That'll probably be on part 2. Right. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. This is just some of this. There's even more stuff than this, but this is what pertains specifically to Black people, foundational Black Americans. Yes. So we need to keep our people informed on these issues, and these movements. So yeah, that's the tangibles. So demand some tangible, Black family. Period. Right in Paris for Denver Mayor, JESSEPARRIS on your ballots. You should have received it already. The inmates can vote as well in the jail. They dropped off ballot boxes to the county and the city. So the inmates, can vote. If they're registered to vote, they can vote. So make sure y'all do that. Do the right thing and write in Jesse Paris for Denver Mayor. So the only candidate that's Black first, the only candidate that's been screaming tangible since 2019, candidate that's actually been unhoused before the camping ban and after the camping ban, or in the midst of the camping ban, because the camping ban been around for 12 years. And
Right.
I've been a client of CCH since 2012. So
Okay.
that's exact same time. So it'll be 12 years. Yeah, that's 12 years. So,
Yeah, and keep in mind, young man, time flies. Do it while you're young, you know.
gosh, Shabaka, you
It's
ain't
because
lying. You are
yeah,
not.
because it seems to me,
My 20s just
yeah, because
flew
it
by.
seems to me,
My 30s are just starting
oh yeah,
by.
oh yeah, and the 40s are gonna go by quicker, and the 50s are gonna go by twice as fast as the 40s did. So do it while you're young. And then, as I stated before, you know, since I'm in my twilight years, it is my duty from the ancestors to relate to the generations after me the truth that I've lived through, and not this prepackaged garbage that they're trying to get us to believe. And this is why I'm crumb bumming on the, not the hearings in California on the reparations. I'm glad they have them. But all you OTBs that called up there with your classic line,
Oh,
forever so long ago.
the topic, Shabaka. So we just gotta continue the show, and then we just gonna
Oh, okay.
when we get to that topic, because there's a lot of topics to
Oh,
get.
yes, sir.
So did you have anything else
Okay.
to add about the tangibles? $100 trillion in reparations.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, all that $100 trillion in reparations. Now, here's what you clowns are paying for. One is you're paying for of our free labor that built up the gross national product of your country. You also are paying for all the blood that was shed in the southern states building your country. You also are paying for all the military personnel of people of African descent that went there and died, particularly for those in the Civil War, particularly for those in World War One and World War Two who went overseas, came back to America, and were not even allowed to sit at a lunch counter and have a cup of coffee. Okay? And then, not to mention the fact that Brother Isaac Woodard, World War II veteran, okay, who had just got discharged from Fort Banning, Georgia, I believe. And he was on his way home to one of the Carolinas. I don't know if it was North Carolina or South Carolina, but him and the bus driver got into an argument because he had wanted to go to the bathroom. And what had happened was when the bus driver had pulled off over to the next stop, he called the sheriff, and the sheriff came up there and they beat Mr. Woodard to a pulp. And the sheriff took his nightstick and took the butt in and bashed Mr. Woodard in both of his eyes and blinded that man. And blinded him. See, so that's another reason for the tangible. Then cases like with the Scottsboro Board. Okay, then also too during World War One, where they had black GIs that were executed as well too. So this is why
Okay,
we're having the need for the tangibles. In
I got
addition
this.
to, yeah, go ahead.
I was just letting you know I was back. You could continue on the tangent you was on. It was sounding good.
Oh yes, sir, absolutely. Okay, and also too on the tangibles of the Jim Crowism that we went through, then with us being the victims of terrorism, you know, from the Klux Klan coups, you know what I mean, the Democrats and the Republicans, then not to mention what happened to the little baby Ruby Ridges, not to mention what happened to Emmett Till, not to mention what happened to the Little Rock Nine, not to mention what happened to Mr. Marquette Fry that started the Watts riots. Not to mention what happened to Mr. Rodney King, was led to the rebellion of 1992 in Los Angeles. Not to mention the murder of little Bobby Hutton 2 days after Dr. King was assassinated. Yeah, say, you know, just spreading love for everybody. But one thing that I admire about Dr. King is that toward the end of his life, the man did realize his mistake, is that he, in fact, led our people into the burning house of integration. And that is one of the things that I would admire Dr. King for, more so than I have a dream speech. The man realized his mistake of where he led our people into a burning house with integration. Now, keep in mind, for OTB, before you come out.
Right now, I'm on the same age he was, and I get told I look like.
Who, Dr. King?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was 39 years old. He was born in Atlanta, Georgia. And also to his contemporary who was assassinated 3 years earlier, Malcolm X, he was also 39. Neither one of those men saw the age of 40.
Mm. And the average life
Neither
expectancy
one of them.
for a black male is 60 years old.
Yeah. So I beat the odds on that. You'll say. And the thing I could say is for our young men, and this is the generation after you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, they fear you, gentlemen, because they cannot be you. We got to stop this self-killing of ourselves. Is because the men folk is the vanguard of the nation. Okay, there's our women out there that still loves black men. Okay, so black men, you guys in your 20s, your late teens, your 20s, early 30s. Okay, you can change your life around. Okay. Going to the penitentiary is not a passage to manhood.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's really not. And it's not something to be bragging about either. Tell that to Mr.
Exactly.
Rob.
And it's not.
Exactly.
And then keep in mind, you're gonna when you do that, you mess up your life. You're constantly, at the mercy of the judicial system. Okay. Where they don't need a search warrant to kick in your front door to search your house if you're a convicted felon. In some states, you cannot.
My hand and say I do not support eminent domain because it's been used against our people too long.
Oh, absolutely! Look at Manhattan Beach, California.
I could see it, but it's not being used against them. It's being used against us, and that was his main.
Oh, absolutely.
Us at the bottom. Because the average white man
yes, sir.
gauge their progress based off of how bad we're doing. If we're doing bad, then they're on the up and up. If we're doing good,
exactly
about it.
Exactly. And once again,
generations. It didn't just start. You heard Shabaka tonight lay out all the way before the civil rights movement till now. And nothing changed with the year, Black family. That's just about it. That's the only thing.
And these are facts. Mr. Mayor. This is straight out facts. Okay. And then when you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, what should be required reading for every young black male. Okay. Yeah. In addition to what should be required reading for every young black male is Dr. Huey Percy Newton's book called Revolutionary Suicide as well, too. And in it that he had stated that when he had graduated Oakland Technical High School, and you've been on the phone when we did Shabaka's Black Experience, Mr. Mayor, when I was traveling through West Oakland, while I was driving there, I think that was last December, and I have traveled the actual street of where Dr. Newton and the party was doing the patrols. The spirit is still there, okay? But what it is that when we had the Black empowerment era, the Black community got flooded with the drugs, as per the FBI with the counterintelligence program to nullify Black leadership. This is why he had the cases of Mutulu Shakur, where he did 45 years. This is why he had the cases of Queen Mother, Asada Shakur.
He just got out. He's just got out.
Yeah, Mutulu. Yeah, Mutulu. And that there, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that there's the Queen Mother's husband, and I do believe, no, I'm sorry, that's Finney's husband, and that's Tupac's stepdad.
Yeah, that's Tupac's stepdad, yeah.
I mean, if I have my history correct on that, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Now, also, too.
We got to move to the next topic. You've been
Oh,
itching.
yes, sir.
Okay, back then. So the next topic is Trump being indicted. Will he serve
Great news.
jail or not?
Okay, that's the question. And based off of information I came across, it's a 30-count indictment uh, against 45. Okay, and everybody who went out there in 2020 that voted for that asshole, I hope you got egg all over your face.
I
He's
hope
a
they do,
crook.
Shabaka. They still ain't called in. Shout out to Outlaw Radio. Only Kevin Barnes called in and said that he regretted
Oh
voting.
yeah.
But
Oh
stupid
yeah. Much respect for Mr. Kevin Barnes. Much respect.
in this mayoral race because I got some video to play for the people. Um, but in regards to Trump, what have you heard so far, Shabaka? Because I got some articles pulled up.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay, I have heard that one of the elements of his indictment is the porno tramp that he had paid, Stormy Daniels or whatever what the hell her name was. Also, there was some other stuff going on, the power plays that he was making through elements of extortion to members in his staff, to violate the law and what have you. And I think they are hitting him with the case of where he tried to influence then Vice President Mike Pence to overturn the vote in the U.S. Senate with the Electoral College.
All the time, Shabaka. Ooh, this is a short article.
Yeah. Yeah, and then not to mention the fact that when he was giving his speech, about the insurrection and having people bum rush the U.S. Capitol, okay, he did say, "Hang Mike Pence," and I mean, that was your main man right there. And in my opinion, Mike Pence looks like a Nazi SS officer. You know what I'm saying? What was those guys named? Himmler, Eichmann. The dudes in charge of the final solution right there. And they, in turn, had said it amongst themselves with the Night of the Generals that Hitler, he's driving us straight down the toilet. And then Hitler got wind of it, and he had ordered one of his generals to commit suicide. And I think it was the dude that they called the Desert Fox, Erwin Rommel. Yeah, Erwin Rommel, who was one of Hitler's commanding generals in the North Africa on our continent. Yeah, they used to call Erwin Rommel the Desert Fox. Now, George S. Patton, who was a racist, hateful son of a bitch in his own right, guess where he was from, Mr. Mayor? Pasadena, California. And then Patton had made that classic line, and you will see it in the movie, which starring George C. Scott, that was made in 1970, is where he had respected Rommel as a military commander. And then when they had launched an attack on Rommel coming across North Africa, I don't know if it was Libya or if it was Algeria, but it was one of the two. It wasn't Egypt. Patton had said, "You magnificent bastard, I read your book. I read your book." Okay, now, what am I saying all this here to say? Okay, Black family, we have read their book. We know what they're coming to us with. And then these brain dead, Clyburn, Tim Coons, Herschel Bars, Walker, and all that, these are idiots. Straight out, and I'm calling them. You fools, and I'm calling you fools idiots. I'm calling you tricks, right along with Elder and Terrell, and any of you bums are welcome to call up at 516-418-5996. And we would love to have you on a Friday morning with Grand Rising with Shabaka Sankori, because y'all should be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and be sure to, and be sure to wear your coon mask when you call up. I'll be happy to humiliate you.
There it is.
Both of you Negroes are pathetic. Yes, sir. What do you have right here?
Call the number.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. And that is every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, at 9 a.m. Mountain time, 10 a.m. Central time, and 11 a.m. in the East. So therefore, you brothers and sisters there from Miami to New York to Cleveland, Ohio to Detroit, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, let's see what else is over there. If I've got my geography right there in Virginia, you can give us a call. The Carolinas, you can give us a call. And then for those out there, New Black Power Panther Radio, yeah, feel free to give us a call right there. And they've been putting in a lot of work, with the, as you know, with the wrongful death of Mr. Lavelle down there in Spartanburg Detention Center. And they've been putting in some work. Shout out to them. We're trying to find out, who the arresting officer was of when that young man, was murdered in that detention center. Okay. Now, also to the dog, the sad shit. Okay.
I was gonna play the CBS.
Now.
Hold on, Sebastian.
Oh yes, sir.
The CBS.
Okay. Yeah. There's the dog. Okay.
Trump upset and angry, but not worried about indictment, attorney says.
Okay.
It's from CBS News out of Miami.
Okay.
Been talking about all morning, including a special counsel's inquiry into the January 6th assault on the Capitol and his handling of documents that were marked classified that were found at his Florida home. The district attorney in Atlanta, as you've heard, is also weighing charges in Trump's effort to interfere in the 2020 vote count in Georgia. Let's focus now on what will happen here in New York City next week. Tuesday, they say, is the day Attorney Joe Tacopina is defending the former president in the Manhattan DA's case. It's good to see you again, Mr. Tacopina. Let's start right away with this question. When did
Tacopina look like one of them goddamn East fucking Europeans or them damn fucking Italians?
Yeah, what is it? Elon Musk looking ass.
did you and the president find out about this? We were all led to believe that it was going to be delayed sometime.
Yeah, we were led to believe the same thing, Gail. I mean, it was yesterday at around 5:30 in the afternoon. Much later in the day than normal, but that's when we learned.
Have you had a chance to look at the indictment? I know it's sealed. Have you had a chance to see it?
We've not. People are reporting how many counts are and whatnot. It's all, news to us. I mean, we've unfortunately gotten a lot of our information in this saga through media reports. We've not seen it. When it's unsealed, we will take a look at it.
Well, if you haven't seen it, how can you and your team say that it's a political witch hunt, that it's politically motivated, if we don't really know exactly what's in it yet?
No, I know what's in it. What I don't know is the number of counts and what the counts are premised on, but I do know the subject matter of the indictment. They've made that clear to us. It's about a civil confidentiality agreement executed by President Trump's ex-lawyer, a lawyer for Stormy Daniels, and nothing more. So we know it's premised and based on that fact pattern, which doesn't equate to a crime, not even close to a crime. If you want to look at campaign finance laws and discuss that, FEC chairmen have come on and said there is no crime here. The FEC looked at this and found no wrongdoing whatsoever. So we know what the subject matter is. We know the basis of the charges. We don't know the exact counts or how they're formulating the counts, but that doesn't really matter.
Well, based on your statement that you made just now, how worried is
definitely Trump lawyer?
Wow. Okay.
Angry. He is being persecuted politically. That is clear.
He's being persecuted politically.
Trump tomorrow is going to be.
Oh boy! Once again, they pissing on our heads, telling us it's rain.
Here is this is a case that would not have been brought against another individual in this country if his name wasn't Donald Trump. Pursued by a prosecutor that has obviously very views from the president.
Oh yeah, if he was black, man, he already would have been locked up. You know it, I know it, they know it.
Election campaigns turned this down. FEC, the Federal Election Committee, turned this down and said there was no wrongdoing. So how is state prosecutors in a federal election campaign violation, which they think.
Man, smell these funky socks, man. You full of shit, man.
But we just had
Yeah.
saying
Straight out.
Nobody is above the law. Let's let the process play out. Why don't we all just take that process? Why don't we all just take that process? Just let, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Just let the process play out.
I could not agree with you more.
The white supremacist law,
either, right?
That's the law they're talking about.
Exactly. Yes, sir. And when the thing is, I don't understand is how come when they printed up this indictment against this fool, why wasn't they down there at Mirrorlock or whatever mansion that he's in, kicking in the door with the battering ram with a pair of handcuffs, man, and booking his ass and getting him into the county jail? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they would do to you and I.
Yeah,
You see? So just on them playing this garbage is showing that he's still above the law.
In 20 seconds.
They are. They think they are above the law. That's why they do this horrible shit they do.
Logistics. It looks like possibly.
Exactly.
Yet, and as far as how that all happens, this is a case of first pressure for all of us. You have Secret Service involved, NYPD, Court Officers Union. So I'm not sure exactly how it plays out, but we'll get through it.
We will get through it.
The way it should play out is that the Federal Bureau of Investigation should have something called handcuffs. They go bang on his door, kick it in at 5 o'clock in the morning, take a couple of shotguns, level them at him, throw him on the floor, put their knees on his neck, and handcuff him and have him piss on himself while he's saying he can't breathe. Then whoop his ass, hit him with a taser a few times, and take him down there to the jailhouse and throw him in the cell and continue the same punishment in there. You know, like how they do everybody else.
Yeah, but they don't.
Particularly us.
They don't get the same treatment.
Particularly us. Yeah, that's my point, Brother Paris. That's my point. I mean, how come this fool's door ain't kicked in, man, and he ain't got 2 shotguns up to his head, man, talking about roll over and you got the right to remain silent and all that? How come he ain't being taken to jail in his drawers? Him and Stormy Daniels or whatever other hooker he got.
Right.
I mean, I could care less. You know what I'm saying? But with this fool supposedly having the highest position in the land, being the chief executive of the United States of America, and before he got elected. Oh yeah. And this dude here, they called him a dictator, man. This dude is a joke as a dictator. You know what I'm saying? The man is out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of dope he was on, man. I don't know what kind of woman he had pissed and shit on him for his sexual gratification, or probably beat his ass, with a whip and all that old type of shit. You know what I mean? He's fucked up. Then the broad he had, man, was a damn porn star, and you made her the first lady?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But he issued a statement.
And there's some other thing.
Trump released
He issued a statement.
Following indictment. This is from News Radio. It's copyright scrolls at the bottom.
Yeah, copyright disclaimer. Yes, sir. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism. Oh yeah, we crumb bumming on them. Comment. Yeah, we're doing that. News reporting, teaching, scholarship, and educational and research. Now, for those of you young people who are studying civics and what have you, or political science, this is a very, very...
They're barely studying political science. They're not getting no civics. They stopped teaching civics when I was in school.
What? Oh, man, now that goes to show you how old I am.
These kids...
They stopped teaching civics.
Yeah, these kids, Shabaka, they don't give a damn about the mayor, the city council, none of that. They only focus on the president.
Oh, wow. Now that explains everything. Okay, now, and from what I understand too, brother, those after you, they took and writing cursive out of schools as well too.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of things out of schools. They took home ec out of schools. It's a lot of shit got taken.
Yeah.
Auto shop.
All
that shit got taken out.
Oh man.
When he started,
oh man.
They say that the kids don't have nothing to do. They ain't lying. Nothing productive to do. They have something to do, but it's not productive. it's destructive.
Yeah, but somebody had told me a while back, a few months ago, the reason why they took that all out because they took that money and put it up there for the internet and the computers and stuff like that.
These kids, they're playing games where they pulling mugs out of cars and shooting them.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so yeah, like Grand Theft Auto video games and shit.
Beyond that,
Yeah.
it's like Call of Duty with a combination of that and another shooting game like what is that shit called on Xbox? They got some shit on Xbox. It's real dope. Like
Oh yeah.
like some
I
Fortnite.
got Xbox. Yeah, I got Xbox on my laptop. Haven't even played it not once. I didn't even program the damn thing since I had the computer.
Oh man, you could be gaming and on the computer at the same time with that shit.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you see how much gumption is left in this computer because we've had it 7 years, because it was Mad Dr. D. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mad Dr. D bought that computer.
yeah, his soul is definitely still in it. So, damn. At the same time, I want to keep it because the soul is in it, but damn, that's a hard one to call. You need an upgrade.
Yeah, because the battery is dead for it to operate, man. Got to plug it into the wall. Who knows? That's probably why we couldn't have gotten to the studio this morning,
Yeah, it was weird. You couldn't hear nothing.
Yeah, because I had to call you like 3 times, man, to then I saw us up there on the air. Then we came on. But once again, as you know, Brother Check, and we're gonna get back on the dump in a minute, and it's probably part of the dump regime's things of how they shadow ban.
Statement. So this from Palm Beach, excuse me. I'm thinking of California. Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Former President Trump has released a statement following a grand jury's vote to indict him. Trump called it political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history, adding that he believes that this witch hunt will backfire massively on President Biden. Still waiting on you Biden supporters. The indictment reportedly under seal by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office and will likely be announced in the coming days. At that time, Trump will be expected to surrender and enter a plea. This will be the first time a former president has faced criminal charges. Supporters of former President Trump are defiant in the face of today's indictment by the Manhattan grand jury. Taylor Butowich, a former spokesperson for Trump and the CEO of Make America Great Again, INC, said in a statement, "This is not an indictment of a crime. There was no crime. Instead, this news is the indictment of a failed nation." He added that the indictment is all a part of an effort to stop Trump from being elected again and that Trump will win in 2024 despite Thursday's indictment. And this is from Twitter. It says, raw alerts breaking. Trump just released a statement saying that this political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. Trump Make America Great Again 2024, dated March 30th, 2023. Oh, I gotta zoom this in. It's really hard to see.
Oh, that's old Elon Musk right there, old Tweety Bird, yeah.
Yep, it redirected me to Twitter.
Okay, and also too, they could follow at Shabaka Capital EXP on the Tweety Bird as well too.
Yep.
And the Twitter handle is
Got
on
it.
our digital flyer as well. Yeah.
So this political persecution and election statement from Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America. This is the political
Hmm.
persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. From the time I came down the golden escalator at Trump Tower, and even before I was sworn in as your president of the United States, the radical left Democrats, the enemy of the hardworking man, woman of this country, have been engaged in a witch hunt to destroy the Make America Great Again movement. You remember it was just like I do Russia, 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 the Mueller hoax, Ukraine, 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 impeachment hoax. One, impeachment hoax. Two, the illegal and unconstitutional Mar-a-Lago raid. And now this. The Democrats have lied, cheated, and stolen in their obsession with trying to get Trump. But now they've done the unthinkable. Indicting a completely innocent person is an act of blatant election interference. Never before in our nation's history has this been done. The Democrats have cheated countless times over the decades, including spying on my campaign, but weaponizing our justice our justice system to punish a candidate who happens to be president of the United States and by a leading Republican candidate or for president in the marriage race had ever before ever. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg said who was handpicked and by George Soros, that's BO, a disgrace. Rather than stopping the unprecedented crime wave to New York City, he's doing Joe Biden's the murders and assaults he should be focused on. This Bragg spends his time. I believe this witch hunt will backfire massively. The American people exactly what I think I already read that then. Realistically what left Democrat here every it. So in our part, okay, they have now the Republicans united and strong. We will first defeat Bragg, and we will defeat Joe Biden, and we are throw every last of these crooked Democrats out of office so we can make America great again.
Man. Oh boy, the dump boy, I tell you. But as he's saying right there, they are a bunch of crooks, like his sorry ass is. Okay, and his two-party system is no benefit to us. Okay, this is why we got to form our own political party, and then particularly with what's happening in California.
Shabaka, we got our own police. It's just why people don't know about in certain states, especially in the South. The
Yeah,
Mahali Party in the South, got
yeah,
this party, this country. There's a black parties. It's just they're not being supported. Don't even know about them.
right.
So focus on the Republicans. That's all they're for.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we got to, Holly Party now for like 6 years, about as long as Shabaka Bucket Spencer has been on.
Yeah.
And they got Z, check them out. All black political party,
Yeah.
only based out of Louisiana, Missy and Alec.
Okay, Trey, they interfering with,
Candidates.
yeah. Okay, they interfering with our feed now, because I could barely hear you. Okay, I heard you a little bit right there.
Just hold, talk quick, Shabaka, because I gotta reset that. So just keep the show afloat.
Oh, okay,
So
absolutely.
I finish the Wi-Fi.
Okay, so now when we look at this political system here, you know, rather if it's reptilians or Democrats, okay, this is the more reason why we got to form our own political party, straight out, the Unity Party. We got to do it where we deal with our interests first, is because here in 2023, they are getting ready to come with this digital currency that's going to fuck us around. Okay, they want to get up all the land away from us because they're upset about black farmers having land, which is like happening in Colorado, where they're terrorizing, you know, a black family, a black rancher and his family in Colorado. Also, too, we have to get back to our agricultural means with our natural elements to grow our own food, is because they're putting GMOs in everything. GMOs are dangerous. These are genetically modified organisms, and who knows what it's doing, you know, to the internal organs of someone's body. And this is why we're reaching out to Dr. Christina Parks, you know, to get with us at Shabaka's Black Experience in Hand, because Dr. Parks has been doing some great research, and she's been working diligently to bring, you know, a lot of light to what's really going on with this COVID. Also, too, with Dr. Ken Adams, the great work that he has done, that he related to the Black community, although that he is not Black himself, of where he said that these GMOs are targeting the reproductive mechanisms of Black women. So you have genetically modified organisms that are targeting Black women, you know, and the procreation of life. And I'm not going to use the word reproductive organs, is because reproductive is a manufacturing term, but procreation of life that only happens between a union between a man and a woman. Okay, and that shit that Kamala is over there in Ghana that she's trying to push, that bullshit that Obama had went over there to Kenya with, that he tried to push, and they had kicked his ass up out of Kenya. He was headed to Ethiopia. The head of state of Ethiopia told him, man, don't even bother landing in Addis Ababa. Keep it going. We don't want to see if he come on with that bullshit, just like what Kamala is doing over there in Ghana, trying to push that shit. You see, so Trump is pretty much exhibiting, you know, the true feeling of white America and all these presidential administrations. And once again, we're still waiting on you Biden supporters to give us a call at 516-418-5996. That's Shabaka's Black Experience in Hand, or Grand Rising with Shabaka and Corey on Fridays. And we respect our brother, you know, who said he had voted for him, but he realized his mistake, just like how Dr. King realized his mistake and made the statement that I led our people into a burning house with integration. And the 55th anniversary of his assassination is coming up. That is a day that I do remember. Although I was a child at the time, I did not know who Dr. King was, but when he was assassinated, I distinctively remember seeing on the news for the next 3 days where 100 cities in the United States have been hit. And quite naturally, of course, they blamed it on the Black militants and on the Black Panther Party. You see what I mean? It was because we supposed to just take that knockdown and whatever. And I'm quite sure Dr. King's family, you know, got very, very angry with that, and rightfully so. A lot of those in the civil rights movement had got upset with that on April 4th. Then you had a lot of those in the civil rights movement that went into the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army, who had finally realized that, hey, disintegration ain't gonna work. Okay. Now, what has been happening over the last 50 years, when you have guys like the dump, yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Did you have anything else to say about Trump being indicted?
Oh, yes, sir. Like, what I would like to see is them with a pair of silver bracelets. And I like to see the dump, and I hope they put on national TV where he gets hooked and booked. Straight out. I hope they put that there on national TV where the feds go up there, hey, man, turn around, put your hands behind your head, and zip, and take his ass into custody.
They said they ain't going to do that. They're just going to let him turn
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, they're going to, what they call that there, the gentleman's arrest, where they got the gentleman's agreement. Well, you got all these charges against you, but so what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to turn yourself in. You see what I'm saying? Man, fuck that, man. Go hook and book his ass, man. That should be right there, right now. Knocking on, no, not knocking on his front door, kicking in his front door. You see? You know, where he would be arrested. You know?
Yeah.
Say that's what an indictment means. That means that the court is formally charging you with a crime. The arraignment, as you know, Brother Che, is that, hey, do we have enough evidence to charge your ass with a crime? The indictment is, yeah, we got the evidence. We're picking you up. We're bounding your ass over for trial. You go to court, and hopefully he will go through a kangaroo court and get convicted. Yeah, see? So therefore, two, what I want to do dealing with the office of president itself, showing that these fools have no type of morals whatsoever. Just like during the during Obama's presidency, before the pandemic hit. And if anybody's familiar with Jesse Ventura, yes.
Sabaka, we don't have time for that. We're going to get to the next topic.
Moving right along.
I don't think Trump is going to jail or prison. I think he's going to get the jail arrest, and they're still not going to deter him from running for president.
Exactly. And then let's say if he does get convicted, right, you could best believe the most that he will get is putting him on an ankle bracelet while he's at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, that's it. He gets get house arrest.
Yeah. Exactly. If he gets convicted. And I'm willing to bet $1 that he will get convicted.
$1, okay.
Yeah, $1. That just goes to show you how much faith I got in him being convicted. There's that old saying, put your money where your mouth is. Well, I'm putting my mouth where my money is, which is $1, just to show how low of value that he might not get convicted. But it would be nice to see him in his county blues. It would be nice to see him in his county orange. It would be nice to see him with his mug shots and a set of his fingerprint, what have you. You see what I'm saying? And it'd be nice to see him as CRIMINAL, criminal, you see. But it's not going to happen. Now, the reason why I don't think it will happen, I'm talking about as far as the conviction that is just with him having the status of being a former president. If that conviction goes down against him, that there is putting a black mark on all those jokers, who held that office, including Obama.
Yeah. All right. So, moving right along.
Yes, sir.
The mayor's race. So, Black family, down to the less than a week. Well, we got 4 days.
Okay.
Until the selection. It's not an election, Black family. It's a selection. And they're trying to make their selections known. That's why they're putting all this money behind them. I took a picture of how much money is being raised in this race. And it's at least $10 million combined.
Wow.
$8 million of that went to the wrong people. That elections is not as fair as they keep trying to make it seem. And there's 2 active lawsuits against the city and county clerk and recorder, Paul Lopez, right now.
Okay.
Everybody wants to talk about, well, we'll talk about on Frontline Black News. So there's another candidate in the race. I mentioned him in the past to you, Shabaka. His name is Marcus Giovanni, and he is the Google guy.
Okay.
He does is Google Analytics all day, every day, and gets paid to do it. So he just did a video called The Dark Web, and I guess he's going to index Denver into the dark web, and it's going to be on Tuesday. And while on the selection, if you're in the jail, if you're in the Denver jail, you can vote if you're registered. So please spread the word to our folks that's behind walls. And my little brother is coming home, y'all. Sababu.
Okay.
That's the one.
Okay.
Remember me and Pops told you about my little brother Sababu. He got into a shootout with undercover police officers outside the Royal Mall behind Broccoli. They gave him Sababu did like 7 years. Yeah, because I was in 2015. Yeah, it's been 7 years. But he's getting released to the halfway house, pretty close to where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
Camaro.
So how long will he have to do in the halfway house before you could visit him?
Shit, probably a good year.
Okay.
6 months.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir.
6 months is good. But
yeah.
I don't think he's a blood anymore. We'll see.
Okay. Okay.
So I was trying to find this video of Giovanni, but we got to get to the reparations too. Oh man.
Yeah.
Things to cover. Okay, where is it? Just had to... Oh, well, I should play this. So Letty Che did an awesome ad for me, y'all. Commercial, if you will. I was looking for Giovanni. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is Marcus Giovanni. He's the perennial candidate, but he's really the metahuman. He got the plug AI technology through Google.
Oh man.
So this is his commentary on what's going on with the Denver mayor's race.
Okay.
March 3rd, 2023, Marcus Giovanni here. 2023 Dark Web by Marcus Giovanni, Colorado Politics.
Yeah.
The Denver Right News. It's hilarious because when people don't understand
the Denver Right
internal code, external code.
Let me get on the Denver Right. The Denver Right came. Remember when we protested with the elders outside the apartments? The Denver Right came, and they did not They did like one interview with me this whole campaign, and
wow.
They disinvited me to the forum they had for marginalized communities, along with several others in this race. They only had like 6-7 people there. So that you know they're trying to get their selection underway. Oh, we're gonna narrow it down.
Right.
To 7. Like, nah, man, don't count us out just because we write-ins. Do not count that write-ins out. I had to. Oh, you should have seen the look on Jeff Fart's face and the DN chick. They was looking dumbfounded when I popped up on their ass today.
Right.
Here we go. Why they were live on the show. That was hilarious. And then they gave me like 10 minutes to get my message across.
No, okay.
Um,
Did you let Mr. Fayard know that Shabaka sends his regards?
Yeah, I didn't cut him that tough, but I cut him enough where he was
Right.
like shook, like, oh shit. Oh, I didn't count you out type of shit. And it's like, yes, you did, motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah. No, and he's just trying to clean up his bullshit, that's all.
Yeah, he just had the stupid look. And that Magian chick, she just kept looking stupid. And the people in the chat even noticed. It was like, did y'all see her? The look on her face when he walked in?
Yeah. Well, all what that means there, Mr. Mayor, is that you're striking some nerves right there, you know, which is a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
That you're striking some nerves, which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that they are, because see, basically what you're doing, if I may say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're bringing them face to face with their hypocrisy is what you're doing.
Yes, I'm putting a mirror right in front of the system of racism and white supremacy, and you're gonna look, because that's what the fuck you do and continue to do.
Yeah.
Ended Black family.
And that's what they're supporting.
Don't let them gaslight you, telling you, oh, you had Obama, you had this, you had that. No, we are.
Yeah, what you see, but exactly. And then
tangibles. But I gotta play this video.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get to the videos.
Okay.
So this is Giovanni.
All right.
Talking about how he's got Google Analytics on lock and he's indexing Denver into the dark web.
Okay. All right.
Next for Denver at ITE News. Information Technology Electronic. Is that amazing? On January 1, we went to the new weeks. The internet changed. And now we're 3 months into the change. And what's happened is that a lot of people that are in power shouldn't be in power. And now artificial intelligence, based on February 6th court hearing, when I finally got the closure and the answer to the Spearman, when city attorney, assistant city attorney.
Remember I was telling you about the Spear Amendment, Shabaka?
Blasted.
Yeah.
When I asked about the Spear Amendment, we haven't enforced that law in years. And for 4 elections, 13 years. Actually, it's been longer than that because you start a couple years ahead of each election, and I ran in 2011. Kept me off the ballot. You got the local media says I'm a perennial candidate, but they don't tell anybody that I sued Stephanie O'Malley, Wellington Webb's brother, Joe Webb, who lost their law firm, so that Denver could have the right to petition. It's just mind-blowing. You got Mayor Webb, who's coming out, who's watching everybody shit on Mayor Spear, and see when he's dead, he's not going to see. I'm showing him already. They're going to take that statue out. They're going to do the same thing that him and Mayor Hancock and Pena and all of them did to a man, and the most honorable mayor of all mayors. And he happened to be a Democrat. He knew what a partisanship government would look like. Because he saw all the bittering and the two-faced with both parties. And he's like, wow, this is fix this, man.
And he was a Democrat.
Yeah.
And Michelle Horn told District Judge Luxon, and if you look up who Andrew Luxon is and what he does for a living, what kind of judge he is, and their faces told me everything I needed to know. And what these folks can't do is they can't beat artificial intelligence. And we got closure when Michelle Horn told a sitting judge, and most people said, you're going to need a judge to turn this around. You got to be an independent judge. They stuck me with a Democratic judge, one that has authority to investigate. He has 3 judges around him. At least that's what he used to do. I don't know if he still does it, or that's what he does because that's what they say on the internet. I don't know what with them, what's true, what's false, what's current, it's just up there. But when Michelle Horn blasted, we haven't enforced that law in years. They can remove it from the docs, they can remove it from the recordings, but it was picked up on everybody's telephone. See, when people have their phone in their pocket, they think that, oh, artificial intelligence can't hear. God. Oh my gosh. It's listening to our voices, pattern matching our locations, and pattern matching our goodwill toward our communities. Good, bad, or indifferent. You're either good, you're either bad, or you're indifferent, meaning you don't give a fuck. And there's a lot of them people that don't give a fuck. So the bad people, because good people don't do anything, are allowed to take control of a whole entire city. And see, what Luxon doesn't understand is that on the next time when he's to be judged himself on retention, they need to let him go. Because he allowed a city attorney, assistant city attorney, tell the court, we haven't enforced that law in years, when my whole argument was they circumvented the law to a nonpartisan, so they've been in business, so they've been in power. No, it was worse than that. They didn't enforce a law that nobody talked about that it was even existed until it came out.
What does that sound like, Shabbat?
Folks,
no, that sound like neo-Nazism to me.
In 2018,
yeah.
20 years off, it makes you kind of wonder, do these people make these 100-year flus every 100 years? Because that's what it appears where the virus came from, and all those people, man, that made people wear masks. I'm OSHA certified, okay? I'm an industrial coding expert. I've been doing it. I retired in 2002, but I do side jobs once in a while because it keeps my ass tight when I work. So I don't want to be that 80-year-old man that farts and you just hear his butt just because he stopped exercising, because he stopped moving. And when you think about our children in Denver public schools, they've stopped moving our kids. They don't play dodgeball. They might get hurt. So none of these kids have ever had a punch, never had a ball thrown at them, never broke an arm or a leg, never experienced life because their school knows what's best for them. And so now what happens, they become fluffy kids. And then when fluffy kids watch especially the GOP news, I mean, Fox News pushes more drugs than any network out there, folks. They push it. And you see that they stop all their writers, and don't mention being the #1 on New York Times best-selling list. That's because I sent the people at Fox and said, hey man, you guys are losing. You're going to be losing a lot more, blah, 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 blah. Same thing I do now. And because you guys, your artificial intelligence, and see, these people are talking about artificial intelligence, and what happens is when they start talking about it, they're just talkers. And because they're FCC regulated, what happens is they get indexed, good, bad, or indifferent. How much does this person know? What sources is he talking about? Are these things that he built, or is he talking about somebody else that he's pretending to know these things, but he went and scammed everything and studied it? And he's just a talker, and he's FCC regulated, so he's an important talker. So it's these people that now get indexed to the dark web. And what happens is the sales managers of all these networks and the general managers of these FCC regulated broadcasting companies that think they can bullshit fucking everybody. When you follow the trail like Xfinity, okay, trying to sell us a 10G network when they can't even get 5G. I go on Google and it says Xfinity on my phone because I want to save some money. I got nothing but fucking heartaches. And these people, they're like churn and burn boiler room. All they fucking care is about sales. Now they got kids. Oh, it's one of the best platforms imagine. Shut the fuck up. You got fucking people that have no little kid playing video game that, oh, it's the best platform management. You don't fucking know what you're talking about.
Right.
And it's these fake and biased bullshit that these corporations Like Xfinity pushes out to get their kids, to get their parents to buy this shit because the parents won't do anything or study anything to raise their knowledge bar because they're too busy being parents and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on in their schools, and they're all afraid. They're just afraid. They don't know what to do, and their kids are getting fucked up, and that's how you know there's a God. We're all judged. We're all judged, folks. And right now, before the main God comes, he's going to give you a little taste of the computer God. Ronnie James Dio wrote a song called Computer God with Black Sabbath. And I think Geezer Butler wrote those lyrics. I'm not sure. Dio wrote a lot of his lyrics, but he had good collaborators. They could all go in and write a song. Me, when I write my songs, all my music, what people don't understand, I have mental problems in regards to my learning, my learning and what I can't do. Yeah. Being dyslexic, I've got other reading disabilities, but I also got other things. Because of those disabilities, I can see things that other people can't see. And it's these, this content, like right here, this piece of shit group, people here, Colorado Newsline, there's 4 of them. 4 little newsliners, okay? They all got tumors, man. And their tumors are going to be showing up after the election. But on here, this used to say Marcus Giovanni didn't get his signatures in. I didn't have them in until the 19th, folks. Look it up. You can go to denvergov.org. Look up government. You got to keep your mouse on that. When government, because it'll change out on you. That's the most bullshit website I've ever seen in my fucking life, man. And they won awards. Everything that Denver does, they win awards, but they don't tell you who the awards are from because they're from biased people to keep the same conversations going on, especially Denver, right? They're the most biggest bullshit group of people being indexed right now, and we're giving them enough rope to hang themselves because we need them to keep coming out. See, they try to pretend like they're these fucking monster mats, fucking writers, and they're just bullshit trolls. And see, Denver Right was bought out by Colorado Public Radio, and anybody knows about Colorado Public Radio, unless you're a Democrat, you ain't getting on those networks. Nope. And this is where they're going to start. It's going to start coming back, and accountability is going to get them. Artificial intelligence will make it so. You cannot be a person and say, like Hancock, we are all Denver. So what about Giovanni uncovering your Denver Health and Human Services, taking children out of parents' lives and ruining fathers? And you have a magistrate judge, Karen Hoover, that sits on it, and every one of her cases need to be redone. She's the most evilest woman on the whole fucking court system. How do I know? That was my ex's old attorney. And when she became magistrate judge on May 11th, I told all them people if I was going to be mayor that I'm going to put them in jail. You can't do nothing to the judge. They have absolute immunity. They can do whatever they want. That's why the courts need to clean her up, because what happens is we can have our retention votes and voters that are not paying attention, and then people keep being reelected judges and others. In the metaverse, they're being judged. And so when they Google search their name, the content that starts to invade will be all the cases they worked that they were opposite of what they say. And they're like, how come all these bad cases are, what is this? Nothing but everything. It's all done by the voice now. Voice indexing. You're going to watch, like people from Fox 31, Denver 7, they're all trying to figure out how they can talk about it without trying to let any sources out, instead of all being kumbaya and saying, hey, yeah, man, not only do we know about it, but we know the guy that started it all, and he is just laughable. See, that's unlaughable. So when Joe Rubino,
he wanted to interview me about the fair elections funds.
After the elections, organizations that are going to go and just build content.
It's almost over, Shabaka.
Okay.
And just bury him.
Yeah, but man. Yeah, you got to grant that interview with the fair elections funds, man, because that's right up the alley, man, how everybody's getting maxed and you ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on,
bike boy, I
Shabaka.
don't know,
The
like
video's almost done.
30-year-old guys.
It's like less than a minute left.
Trying to destroy a guy like me. I'm ready, man, for my whole life and all my people, because we've been waiting. Because April 4, we can't do anything until April 4. And this will be the final thing. And they can't get rid of artificial intelligence. It's already been done. It's already been done over. The foundation started in 2000. 2000 and fuck. And then to all the people like Foya that would come on my radio show and just steal my ideas, and then I find him talking about it. And he's the biggest troll bitch of all bitches on the internet. Then you have the one denvergov.org. I think they already picked their mayor, and all these people now are just going through the motion because they're all going to get something. You know what they got? Fair election money. And I guarantee you, they probably didn't even spend the money on any of the newspapers. They just, TV ads. Oh, that's it. So that's how Denver media, FCC regulated the demise of their own bullshit stories and fake shit, which they're allowed to do in the real world. When it comes to the digital world, your asses belong to the computer god known as April. O-A-I-O.
He's a trip. What did you think about that, Shabaka?
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, the dude is a trip, you know. Yeah, but however, though, man, is that elections is more important than ever, man. Because with all this great change coming,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say is that with the elections coming up, you know, here at the state and local level, you know, in 2023. And then, of course, you know, come October and November of this year, man, that's when they're going to be gearing up hard for 2024. I wonder if old Trump will still be walking a concrete then. I want to see a picture of him in his county blues, man, or the county orange jumpsuit. You know, that'd be nice, you know, to see Trump in that. And then also, too, was that you are raising the awareness level there in Denver, Colorado, you know, with the Black first, is because all the opposition and all the monkey wrenches that they try to put in your mechanisms is still prevailing. But that also goes to show that you're telling the truth. You know what I mean? Yep.
Yeah. So, Shabaka, while we're on the Denver mayor's race, I want to play what Lady recently produced this commercial campaign. So I'm gonna play that real quick. It's only 2.5 minutes.
Okay. All right.
All I've heard for the last years is we need change. We need change. House needs to be housed. Crime needs to come to a minimal, substantially. People need to be punished. Police need to stop killing young, innocent Black men and women in or outside of custody. Drug use needs to not be open. People need rehab and mental health. The housing is unfair. The housing rates are way too high for anybody to live in. The AMI, the livable work wage, is nowhere near matching. And all of a sudden, we want people still to come here and live here while we push others out. We have influx of migrants when we can't take care of our own people. So much is going on. We have a transit system that's been having derailments and all sorts of craziness that happens. And the price to ride the bus is extremely high. We have unfair housing. Everything is high. We can barely afford to feed ourselves. Food is diminishing. People are at their lowest. And COVID's over. We don't have that to, lean on. We say we want change. We say as Black people, we want to be Black first and put our priorities first. We say that we need tangibles for every single community in Denver. We need someone to fight for us. We need a mayor that's going to stand up. We need a mayor that's going to say no. We need a mayor that's going to do this. We need a mayor better than Hancock. And when I think about that, I think about Jesse Paris. And this is your only chance to write in somebody different, to write in a new change, a dramatic change, something tangible. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be hard.
What did you think? Great job, Lady Che.
Yeah, that was great, beautiful. Real great job. And then also too, the work that you do every Sunday there, for the Dahlia Senior Citizen Apartment thing, and since you're on the public view now.
I hear you again. Are you laying down, Shabaka?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, now, where are the other mayoral candidates going to be tomorrow, man, when you go over there to the Dahlia Senior Apartment? So I'm putting that out there on air, right now. This man, Jesse Paris, goes out there every Sunday in snow, sleet, blizzard, rain, cold days, hot days. Where are your other mayoral candidates of Denver at? Oh, yeah, y'all are probably still in bed asleep, sleeping off your hangovers you got from the night before or tonight's party. This man is up here like clockwork,
that lag from
taking care of
trips you've been taking around the country.
Yeah, right. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever, that they were indulged. But this man, every Sunday morning, he's up there. He's been doing it for the last 2.5 years that I know.
We've been
in
for
Denver,
the
Colorado.
Years. That was
how many years?
Denver, 7 years.
Okay, for 7 years that this man is doing it. So 52 times 7 every Sunday. Okay, that's 381 days that this man has been doing it. So your other individuals who are running for mayor of Denver, you had 381 chances to go out here and help this man with this project that he does every Sunday. Unloading the produce, hauling it up the elevator, you're greeting the senior citizens. What are the rest of your Denver mayoral candidates on that?
Nowhere to be found, Shabaka. Nowhere to be found. So
precisely, my.
I went on Jeff Bart's show today, Shabaka.
Yeah.
I did a pop up on him and his crew, and this is the video. So this coon ass nigga here, Hashim, he's representing for Kelly Bruh. That's the white woman. They got like $2 million, over $2 million, and 750,000 of that came from the Fair Elections Fund. She was definitely not supposed to get that money, and neither was Leslie Harris or Debbie. There's a whole long list of mugs that shouldn't have got no Fair Elections money, because that was intended for people that didn't have the means to fund their own campaigns.
Right.
Not mugs that make $500,000 plus a year.
Right.
So here's the video.
Okay.
On this race, I'm running for mayor. One of the candidates dropped out, and actually, bruv.
He talking about Kwame. Remember Kwame? That was the mug. He looked like an alien or something, and he's the CEO of the Tattered bookstore. You remember the protest that I used to do every Friday with Occupy Denver? Yeah, that guy. He's the CEO of that.
Yeah. And then not changing the subject, but it addressed the Occupy movement too. What was that, 2013, 2011?
It was from 2008 originally. Yeah, till now, yeah. But it's still around.
Yeah.
Go nowhere. Just
Yeah.
on the ground, but it's still there.
Yeah. Because I remember the Occupy movement having a protest, man, right there in front of Oakland City Hall.
Yeah.
You know,
several chapters throughout the country. I was just affiliated with the Denver chapter.
Yeah. Yeah, you had them in the Occupy movement in Oakland. You had them in L.A. Of course, San Francisco came and joined Oakland. You had them all over, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here in Denver, the reason why the camping ban was passed is because of the Occupy movement.
Wow.
But this is Unhoused. This is JB.
Okay.
Be on Fox 31 News as a news commentator, and now he's coaching kids in every sport, just about basketball,
okay.
baseball, whatever you name it. He's coaching it, and
okay, probably 501c3 for it.
Yeah, more than likely, knowing him. But he's cool with us. But this dude, I can't stand him. Every time I see him, I want to punch him in the motherfucking face. His name is Hashim, and he's a coon.
Okay.
And he's LGBTQ, and he puts LGBTQ in front of being black.
Oh shit! Lost cause.
So he's talking. I just crept up on him. They was not expecting me to pop up on them. So you're gonna see their reaction. It's hilarious.
He did.
Okay. Spearman dropped out and endorsed Kelly Brough.
I didn't know he endorsed. I
because you're on Hawaii. Hey, don't hate on Hawaii.
I know. Don't hate on
wonderful place.
Don't hate on number 50.
But people are engaged. People are engaged. This is our 5th stop today. And there's people at every stop asking questions, still engaged and holding on to the ballots.
Oh.
So on behalf of all the campaigns, turn them damn ballots.
Yeah.
Because it's driving us crazy. Crazy as hell.
People don't realize you guys have a list of who is registered in certain neighborhood, in every neighborhood, and you go to those ones that haven't turned in a ballot yet.
That's right.
And those are the doors that are being knocked on over the last couple of days here.
Well, make sure you get John Bowman journalism, that extra large give the large to his wife. You got 2 votes
she's a medium, but I'll give it to her.
No, give that back then. Well, he needs a medium.
If I bring a large, he might I look like a large.
Let me just tell you guys something. I'm out here on an island right now.
Yes, you are.
I'm gonna need a candidate to get over here. Some candidate, not the first time though.
Well, you know, that's sometimes how your candidate does. They wait till Kelly shows up and then comes.
All candidates have been in the free think zone, but Kelly Brough get that extra.
She did. She came on by.
Came in there.
Yeah, popped in.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you one real quick one?
Yeah.
Should
So this is right before I popped up. That's what's so hilarious about it, Shabaki. So, oh, we need another candidate to pop in. And
should the unhoused neighbors in our community
that right when he said that, I walked in the door. I don't know if you could hear it in the background. I had just walked in the door with the cart and everything. So I was just running on the shit. Like you had no choice but to hear me.
Right.
You know I was in the building. So they're watch their facial expressions, they're priceless.
Okay.
Have equal say in the politics that runs the city as taxpayers do.
Unhoused neighbors are taxpayers. Yeah,
that's real.
Well, every time.
Unhoused neighbors is Team Paris's term, Black family. They stole that shit from us. So we need to be getting every time that is used, like literally copyright infringement. Every time they say it,
absolutely,
and don't acknowledge us or pay us.
Exactly.
When you go to grocery store, tax. Every time you put some gas in your car, you're paying a tax. And so unhoused neighbors
You hear that?
absolutely
You see how she
should
looks?
have a say.
Like,
Yeah.
you see how she looking?
I'm really impressed about what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And then you see how Jeff is acting.
Really impressed with what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Today, just JB, well, the Hashim Dem, switch seats for just a second, and then I want to come back again. What I want to go back to is the safety and education in facilities. Shouldn't there be some behavioral norms that must be adhered to for all candidates? I mean, not candidates.
I say yes to that, but go ahead.
And then with the interventions that you're talking about, address everything that's happening.
Absolutely. There should definitely be like a matter of responsibility as it pertains to behavior. And that's something that each and every one of us own at every age space that we're in or every journey that we're on. So yeah, there should definitely be behavioral norms that we can all depend on.
Well, I can tell you one thing, in the Free Think Zone today, candidate Jesse Parrish in the Free Think Zone. Nah, Jesse Parrish, you've been impressing me, bro. Yeah. I'm really excited about Jesse Parrish.
See, kissing ass now, cause I'm in the building.
Yeah.
But when I ain't there, they talk. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. It's called hypocrisy.
He's a write-in candidate. I wasn't feeling that, for the past few weeks, maybe a couple of months. But this race is so close, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. I'm with Jesse Parrish. This might be.
I know Lady Che would be triggered when she heard that. Months, nigga, since even before I filed to run for mayor, you were uneasy about it. Like, I asked straight up because he told me in 2019 the reason why he didn't support me in 2019 is because I didn't ask him for my vote. So when I seen his ass in 2020, in 2022, Lady Che was with me. Asked him, "Can I count on your vote, Brother Jeff?" And he just smiled.
Wow.
Anybody's race, and Jesse Parrish is in the Free Think Zone. What's up, Free Think Zone? Tell us about you. What's up? There's some votes hanging out there, Jesse Parrish. What's happening out here?
So y'all were just talking about the unhoused neighbors. That's my term. I believe, yes, our unhoused should have a say in what happens with our next mayor and our next city council, and also our inmates. For those that don't know, the inmates can vote in the city and county jail. The ballots actually dropped off yesterday. So if you know anybody behind walls, tell them to write in Jesse Parrish for Denver mayor. JSSEPARRIS.
You know, Jesse.
Below Kelly.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, below Kelly Bruff, because they always shouting that bitch out. But yeah, you could write me in below her.
Yep.
Just go one notch down and write it in.
Empty squares. Empty rectangle.
Jesse Parrish, I'll say this, and everybody will perhaps bear witness. You are very informed on all of these issues. I've watched you in the form.
Oh, you think, Jeff? You knew before I even ran for mayor out. Oh, God, he's just. You see how
his hypocrisy is real. Yeah.
His
hypocrisy is real.
You know a lot about all of the issues, and many of those issues you have been actually a part of forming, whether it's the unhoused neighbors, safe outdoor spaces, whether it's being a part of those tiny home villages, whether it's a part about being a part of police and the safety task forces, whether it's being in city council probably consecutively for 7 years. One thing that I have been able to see in terms of those forums is you can communicate on any of those subjects, and you've done a great job. What would you like to talk about in the Free Think Zone right now that's top of mind for you?
Well, top of mind, of course, our unhoused neighbors. I mean, we have candidates in this race that want to literally condemn and incarcerate our unhoused neighbors. No, we have a crisis. We had a crisis before COVID. We still have a crisis now, and that is the unhoused neighbor crisis. This is a problem that this current administration created this problem. So we need somebody that's going to be in office that's going to actually have a solution to the problem. I have shown and proved I have a solution to the problem. And you know how I know I have a solution to the problem? Other candidates are stealing my ideas, my talking points, my wording. They're getting a hold of my flyers, turning them into TV commercials. Shout out to Chris Hansen. I'd see you when you start talking about your $250,000 plan or commercial. You got that directly from Team Paris because one of your campaign staff, who just so happened to be Black, got a hold of one of my flyers, and the next thing I know, he's running with another ad after we checked him on the last ad where he was stereotyping and critiquing our unhoused neighbors in a very bad light. We see you, Chris Hansen. We see all of y'all. We see y'all still on our talking points. We see you still in our terminology. We see you still in our ideas. But one thing you cannot steal is the work that we put in and the fact that we show up at all these events. As a matter of fact, I was the only candidate that showed up to the John Bailey, only mayoral candidate that showed up to the John Bailey town hall about gun violence at East.
Oh, I wish you could have seen Jeff's face when I said that. Jeff had this super stupid ass look on his face, like, oh.
Yeah.
So with that,
put him on the spot.
Since people have to use New Hope Baptist Church as a platform to get their word out, but when the community needs you to show up, you're nowhere to be found.
Well, with that being
said, better, Jeff, they're not going to outshow me up.
Yeah, that's true. Jesse Pierce, take the final words, and then again, go high level about what.
He did say that on one of his shows. He in the beginning of the campaign, he was like, "Yeah, Jesse Pierce is at everything. You're just not gonna outshow him up. You're just not gonna do it." And this is like back in May, June. Remember, he ignored me for like a whole. I followed in April. He didn't talk. He didn't start mentioning me at all until like May, early June.
Damn, that's a cold shot.
And then when he, it's because I had to threaten his ass. I had to literally threaten him to get on the show the first time because he wasn't trying to have me on the show. And I'm like, he's like, it's too early because we were in the state right. So he's like, he didn't want to confuse people, or at least that's the lie he told me. But then he
told me, the prepackaged bullshit. Yeah, go ahead.
City council or something on there like the next week or something. And it was like, I thought you were trying to stay focused on the state race. Or are you having city candidates come in and speak? But you told me I couldn't speak. I want to confuse the people. But all you do is confuse the people. Or like anybody that takes you serious, have your head examined. Because if you really study this dude, like he used to be a solid dude, but he done sold his soul, and now it's all about money. And he wanted owners coming. You think it's a black platform? You'll be fooled to think it was a black platform because it's not a black platform. Just because the hater is black, don't make it black. Because he's on some all-inclusive, oh, can we all just get along type shit? And we're like, to hell with all of that shit. Burn it down, but pay us first. Pay us what the hell you owe us, and then burn this shit down. Reparations and separations. We got to separate not only from the crackers, but these goddamn coons.
Cite you about this race, what it is that you'd like to bring to the city, and those who may not be showing up to the polls because they are kind of tired of the negative stuff. Go out and on a high note in terms of what it is that's exciting you about this particular race and why you're the best candidate.
What's exciting me about this race is the first time in 12 years we have an open seat for mayor, and not only mayor but city council. We have the opportunity to actually sweep the council like they sweep our Unhoused every night. We have an opportunity to get a mayor in the office that actually cares about the people, comes from the soil, comes from the struggle, can relate to the struggle, is currently at or below the poverty line, and is in these programs and services that all these candidates are talking about. I'm literally a client of CCH. I've been a client of CCH since 2012. I'm the only candidate that's been unhoused before the camping ban and after the camping ban. I've been actively fighting to repeal the urban camping ban since its inception in 2012, the same year I graduated from Metro State University with a bachelor's degree in criminology and criminal justice. So I know the problems, but it's time that we move on from what are the problems, what are the solutions? Team Paris has the solutions. And like I said, how we know this is our ideas, our intellectual property is being stolen by several candidates in this race.
JB wants to ask you a quick question.
Real quick, and I'm not sure. I think it was you.
This had nothing to do with anything I was saying. And he gonna try to derail me from what the fuck I was talking about because it's the goddamn truth. They have been stealing our shit. Are you still there, Shabaka? Oh man, did we lose Shabaka? Shabaka done passed out on me. Shabaka. Shabaka. Yeah. All right, Shabaka, we're gonna bid you a good night. Thank you for joining us. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to Shabaka EXP on Twitter. Oh, I thought you dozed off. Did you doze off, Shabaka? Shabaka. Are you dozing off?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, man.
Okay, Shabaka. Well, I'll let you go after. I just want to hear your thoughts on what I was saying. And this coon is trying to derail me to something else that was
yes, sir.
Unrelated.
Yeah, that they're trying to do. Yeah, it's called propaganda. They're bringing unrelated stuff, man, to take you off course on the campaign and what you're doing. You're bringing them to face with their hypocrisy, not to mention their hypocrisy of the Cancun administration that you guys have in there right now. Plus that you got more dynamics and thought patterns than Fard has, because he's following the script. You see what I'm saying? You're doing it for the people, man, and you out there with the real. You see, the real don't need no script. Fard is operating with a script.
Right. Clearly. And so is John Bowman. Yeah. So is Medine. And him. They're all operating from a script. But we setting a goddamn record. This is where these motherfuckers got they wasn't talking none of this shit not even 2 years ago.
Right.
And you see Lisa behind.
Putting them on the spot.
They all got their yard signs up in there.
Wow.
All that money for a low voter turnout. It is horrible.
Yep.
Like 10% of the Denver voters actually voted.
Oh, man. You figure the mayor is one of the biggest elections going besides senator and president. At the local level, that is.
The youth, Shabaka, all they focus on is the goddamn president. It's a damn shame. So they stopped teaching.
Yeah, it is.
They don't even know there's 3 levels of government, 3 branches of government.
Yeah.
None of that.
Damn, that's bad. Yeah, particularly how people should know about the judicial branch, legislative branch.
I'm gonna finish my part of the video and then get your commentary, and then we can bid you a good night.
Yes, sir.
But one of the candidates early on in the race talked about how they wanted to do away with necessarily the 2 at-large seats on the council and make those 2 representatives the representatives for the unhoused neighbors in our city. And that's why I asked the question earlier. And so I don't know if that was you that came up with that proposition, but I thought that was a very good idea because most of the time those 2 at-large.
I think it was Ian that came up with that.
Okay.
I think it was Ian Tafoya that came up with that, but
okay, and those 2 council members.
I can't get no. Every time they go on his goddamn show, everybody's scared to bring me up. They do not want to miss at all. And these are people that I consider friends, Shabaka.
Wow, now they're heading for the hills.
Man.
Damn.
Mr. Roberts got to go. He got to go.
Yeah.
White supremacists in this race got to go.
Oh yeah.
These mixed up, confused individuals got to go.
No, most definitely. Without a doubt. Yeah, they straddle in the fence.
Even the ones that's darker than me is straddling the fence. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was it like Dr. Anish said in her writings of my alpha? A disaster so bad it's beyond description.
But let me finish.
Yeah.
Large candidates, those two at-large council members, do really, like, they don't represent anybody.
Well, I can tell you what they're supposed to be doing is they're supposed to be doing regional collaboration surrounding the principalities. But what they end up doing is just representing their own interests. If you ask me, I mean, we had Kanish and Ortega in office for 12 years. Yeah. What has changed? We literally have to bring stuff to Kanish about the public restrooms, the fact that there was no public restrooms in Denver and downtown proper, and they had to do a whole study. We did a whole study. Remember, Denver Homeless Out Loud. We did a whole study. We brought the information to Robin Kanish. She pushed it. I'll give her that. She pushed it for we to have the mobile restrooms downtown, but it's not enough. We can do better, and under a Parrish administration, we will do better. So write in Jesse Parrish for Denver mayor. We can usher in a B1 agenda, a Black first agenda, where Black people are actually prioritized and not brought up or thought of as broad ambiguous language, such as people of color, minorities, disenfranchised, underserved, underprivileged.
You see, John is agreeing with me. He nodding his head. And
I can tell you this: give it up.
John is right there with me, but them the looks on their faces. If they would have had a camera on them when I was saying everything I was saying, it was priceless.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, you got motherfucker. I'll counter this out. You thought it's out of reach for him. Shit, it's anybody's right.
Sure.
So, Shabaka, what are your thoughts on what was just said, and hit the people off with where they can reach you?
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm thinking about what is just said is that they're stealing a lot of your material, not giving you credit for it, is because you're talking about a real issue with the unhoused neighbors and the unhoused neighbor sweeps, okay? And then this is Shabaka saying, Corey, you can get in touch with us at our like page on Facebook, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. You can follow Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced at the Twitter handle, Shabaka, capital EXP. And definitely check out Frontline Black News, and definitely check out Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, and most definitely check out the Revolutionary Agenda, and most definitely check out Jesse Parrish on Spruce StreamYard.
Yeah, and Shabaka, the next topic is the California reparations. Damn.
Oh, man. Okay, let me just give a brief comment on that right there, man, and then the Sandman has got it. Okay, first place, we did a grand rising with Shabaka Tankori on the California reparations yesterday. You can go to our archives, listen to the playback. And I'm making this clear. Don't no white people or any other group who is not of African descent or foundational Black Americans should even be commenting on that, let alone sitting on the board examining that. It's because that's all about 3 or 4 caucasoids on there. They have no business dealing with it. It's not up for you to come in there and throw monkey wrenches in the boat. It's not for you to come in there with your double speak. You know, California was built off the sweat, the blood, and what have you of our ancestors as well, too. Because keep in mind, it did become a state in 1849 at the height of slavery.
Okay, thank you for that correction. I wasn't sure if it was 1848 or 1849. But you said 1849.
No, it's 1849. Yes, so that's why you got a football team called the 49ers.
Right, because go Rush.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
okay, so I'm going to...
colony, right?
Say that again?
Before that, it was a Spanish colony.
Yes, San Francisco and California. Yeah, you are correct, brother. There, California was a colony of Spain, and it was a part of Mexico at that time. It's because the Spaniards have been settling into California ever since the arrival of the conquistadors, and that was in the 1500s when they was coming through the deserts of southern Arizona and what have you. Then you had a Catholic priest by the name of Juniper Sierra that went from San Diego to San Jose setting up missions, and as far as Sacramento setting up missions. And then at that time, California it was known for its great vineyards in the north, its hot deserts in the south. And then the gold did not get discovered until 1848, and it became a state in 1849. And
Now,
under those times, yeah, real quick, considering, back at that time, I don't even think they had the telegraph. I think they had a whole bunch of pony expresses riding back and forth to Washington, D.C. Hey, we found gold there. Make California state, call it the Golden State. Yeah, and everybody bum rushed it. There ain't no gold up there. You ain't drilling shit. Okay, then they went for other minerals as well, too. They pretty much raped the land and messed up the ecology of it, up in that region. And you could take Highway 49 between Placerville and Auburn, and that is the heart of the gold rush day, because you will pass the California Gold Discovery Park, and they do have a monument set up right there to the exact spot where old boy discovered gold there in Sutter's Mill in 1849.
yeah, all right. Thank you, Shabaka. Thank you for joining us. I think I'm gonna end the show right now because um, I just clipped the time limit that I had. It was supposed to only be 2 hours, so we'll be doing a
Yes,
part two later on today, Black family. Um,
yes.
I'll pull up the topics now. But we're
Mm-hmm,
gonna touch on the California reparations update. Um,
mm-hmm.
in addition to that, hold on, Black family. Trying to remember all the topics. It's a lot of them. The Yeah, Ramel says free all our political prisoners. Speaking of our political prisoners, they can vote now in the county jail and the city jail. Ramel.
Good,
Um,
good.
so we need them to write me in.
Yes,
East
sir, absolutely.
town hall meeting on gun and youth violence at New Hope Baptist Church this past Tuesday. I have mentioned that on Jeff's show that I just played,
Mm-hmm,
and U.S. Census looking at adding a question to section on race for Black Americans, Descendants of American
mm-hmm,
child slavery, and our unhoused
mm-hmm.
news and our unhoused neighbor sweeps. Quick update on the unhoused neighbor news and sweeps. We have the Rockies home opener next week, the same week of the election. It's a couple of days after, and they are doing massive sweeps within the Triangle area.
Oh, man.
So
What is
it's
that, Coors Field?
yeah, everything around Coors Field is being swept. Um,
Oh, man.
right. So um, they did the same thing when we had the All Star game a couple years back. So they're back
Mm-hmm,
again.
mm-hmm.
This is Han Coon's last hurrah. So Han Coon,
Yeah.
he's off to DeSantis land. It's no longer Disneyland. It's just DeSantis land now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where he's going to retire. Goodbye and good riddance. Uh,
Right.
we bid
Who
you
knows? Hopefully
July.
hopefully he gets locked up down there.
Yeah, he's got to leave the office July 17th. So
Okay.
he's going to retire in Florida, and he's still going to get money from being mayor here, and he might run
Yeah.
for governor or president or some crazy shit. So we'll keep y'all updated.
Okay.
He's a career politician, so I don't think he's done. I don't think he's thrown in the towel yet.
Okay.
But he did a horrible job here in Denver as mayor. And
Right.
goodbye and good riddance. I wish I could hear Ramel
Yes, sir.
as the speaker, so it'd be real hard to hear him. But you did your closing, Shabaka, so thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Have a good night.
All right. You too, Mr. Mayor. And keep up the great work, man. And like I said in my final statement, then I'm going to leave, is where are all your other mayoral candidates going to be at tomorrow morning when Brother Parrish goes down there to the Dolly Street Senior Citizen Center, feed the seniors, so where are you guys going to be at tomorrow besides in bed?
Doing
Jesse Parrish from Mayor Ben.
Up at the church.
Doing the what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow is Palm Sunday. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Mr. Mayor, I'm out.
All right. Peace, Shabaka. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank y'all for tuning in to season. I don't know. I could try to do it. I could try to put you on, Ramel, for a hot second. I got to end the show. So, thank y'all for tuning in to season 2, episode 52, our yearly episode, our 2-year anniversary episode, basically for me and Lady Che and Frontline Black News. So this is part 1. We're gonna do a part 2 later on today now, and make sure y'all stay tuned for that. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe to the Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook. Also, like and subscribe to the Revolutionary Agenda, which is Lady Che's and Ramel Understandings program. So make sure y'all tune into that as well. Hopefully Lady Che drops a show tomorrow. It's her birthday weekend, so we send major shouts out to her. And we thank y'all for tuning in. So make sure y'all write in Jesse Parrish for Denver Mayor if you live in the Denver area. Get registered to vote if you haven't. Go to www.denvervotes.org and check your voter registration. Make sure you're registered. Exercise your vote, Black family. They're always telling us your ancestors died for the right to vote. Well, exercise the vote. It's your right as a U.S. citizen to vote. So exercise it and participate in this. It's not a democracy. It's more like a plutocracy. And let your voice be heard. Otherwise, no vote, no right to speak, no right to complain, no investigation, no right to investigate, no right to complain. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations. We're out. Peace.